And welcome back to the Sports Weekly Football Year in Review. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Right now, in this part of the show, we want to talk about the teams in the Mountain Valley League. And let's start with the San Bernardino Cardinals, your defending MVL champions. They lost some great skill guys, including Kyron Crane, of course, George Jones, but they got quarterback number 7 right there, QB1. Xavier Alvarez is back, and the entire starting offensive line. And you know head coach Sean Collins is loving that. We had a chance to talk to the quarterback, Xavier Alvarez, about going into this season. Because, again, they did win a league championship last year, and that's great, but they lost in the first round of the playoffs against Los Altos. So this is a San Bernardino team that wants to win another league championship, but they also want to make a deep run in CIF. Here is the QB of the Cardinals, Xavier Alvarez.
It's going to take all of us. It's going to take all our best. We're going to have to work our hardest, and we're going to have to make our reads. Honestly, we're just going to have to show up and play. Like last year, there's no excuses. We lost. But this year, we're going to be different, for sure. What it's going to take, it's going to take all of us showing up every day, hitting the weight room, just listening to the coaches, being coachable, and just if we show up and play our best ball, like nobody could beat us. Anytime we lose, it's because of us, nobody else. Yes, sir. We want to win league. We want to win. We want to go all the way. We want to go as far as we could.
We also spoke with Cardinals head coach Sean Collins, who won his first league championship as a head coach. He's hoping to run it back and do it all over again.
You know, last year you guys won the Mountain Valley League championship. What do you think it's going to take to go back-to-back and do it again? And hopefully on top of that, make a deep run in the CIF playoffs?
Oh, man, not for nothing. It's going to take a lot of luck. No, you always have a little bit of luck when those things happen. And, you know, our kids, they worked their butts off, and they were well deserving of that last year, what happened. Now we have to adjust with now having a target on our back and playing through that. So, you know, we're going to take it 1 week at a time and just do what we do, man. It's not a secret what we do. We're just going to run the ball and play sound defense and hopefully be right there at the end.
Now, I know your quarterback is returning, Xavier Alvarez. I just found out your entire offensive line, and they're pretty big guys. They're all seniors, too, so you have some leadership and experience up front. Again, it's no secret what you guys are going to do, but it must feel pretty good knowing you should be pretty strong up front going into the season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Coach Williams, the guy that calls our offense, he does a great job with getting those guys ready to play each week. And Coach T, man, those guys, they go in the lab and they make things happen, and that's how we do it over there. So our guys will be ready to play.
You know, Coach, just real quick, reflecting back on last season, you had some great skill guys, you know, around Alvarez and of course, your offensive line. Do a little name dropping. Who are the guys that we're going to be talking about this season for the Cardinals?
Isaiah Lopez, he'll step in and he'll be one of our wingbacks, and a guy by the name of Henry Hernandez, he'll be another one. He'll step into that. It's our fullback, but technically it's a tailback, so he'll be replacing Kyron Crane. So he's got some pretty big shoes to fill. So, but we'll be okay. We'll be fine.
You know, I don't know if I've actually asked you this, but was last year your first league title as a head coach?
Yes, it was my first league title as a head coach. So yeah, man, I'm telling you, we did a lot of firsts last year. So it was a pretty big special year for us all the way around.
All right, that's Cardinals head coach Sean Collins here at the Alexander Madison I Am Gifted Camp.
Next up is Indian Springs. The Coyotes had another winning season in 2022, going 6-4, but they just missed out on the playoffs, losing their last 3 games in a row to finish the year. But they started 6-1. They've got a new head coach, Marcus Williams, a former San G guy. He replaces Chris Chaddick. We have a long interview with Coach Williams on the IE Media Group YouTube channel right now, but here's a sample of what he had to say about trying to keep the wins coming for Indian Springs.
So, Coach, we've been, following Indian Springs for a couple seasons now, and we know under Coach Chaddick, they won that league title in that shortened COVID season, and they made that playoff run to the semifinals in Division 14 a couple of years ago. So they've had some success. So what do you think it's going to take to, keep that success going, or maybe even take it to that next level here at Indian Springs?
We have to start with the little things, the details to our craft and work, and we just have to buy into the system. I feel like we're going to go a long way. We have a good coaching staff. As long as the young men follow us, I feel like we'll go in the right direction. We're going to be very successful.
You know, how would you kind of describe the brand of football you would want to play? You know, you talk to some coaches and they'll say, "Hey, we're gonna play defense and we're just gonna run the football, you know, down their throat," or "No, we're gonna score 100 points per game and throw the football all over the place." I mean, how would you kind of describe the kind of football that you'd like to see with your team here?
On offense, putting up points.
Yeah.
Putting up points. We have to score every opportunity. We have to score. Explosive plays will be key for us this season. Then on the defensive end, we have to be physical in the trenches. It starts there. We have to win on first and second down, force teams to pass, and I feel like we'll be good.
You know, you mentioned Coach Kraft at RCC. In fact, the last time I saw him, it was at San Bernardino Valley College. They were playing for the Southern California championship game. And, of course, they won that, went to the state finals. He's a legend. He coached at San Diego State. He's done some great things at RCC. What are some things maybe that you learned from him at the college level? You kind of mentioned a little bit, but maybe go a little more in depth of, you know, what some of the things you learned from him and might be able to implement here at Indian Springs.
He's very detailed to his work, very detailed. He's the quarterback position. He knows the ins and outs. His offense is fast-paced, and Coach Kraft, he demands a lot, which I love, and I learned a lot under him. Very grateful to just be 1 year with him, like he said. We Southern Championship, almost won state, but it's just a blessing just to be under him and see everything he, you know, does as a head coach. And I was grateful for the opportunity, so I'm just bringing it here. And we're going to play fast. And one thing about Coach Kraft, he puts up points.
Yeah.
And he's an offensive guy.
There's no doubt about that.
And again, you can check out the entire interview with Coach Williams here on the IE Media Group YouTube channel. Now, the final team for the Mountain Valley League we're going to touch on are the Pacific Pirates. They went 0-10 winless in 2022 in David Otuafi's first season as the head coach of the Pirates. In fact, we talked to Coach Otuafi last season, but we're going to replay that soundbite because it's probably the same message he has for his Pirates squad going into 2023 about just believing in yourself and being ready to compete every single week, trying to get some wins here in 2023.
You need to get out of the mentality of, you know, going into somewhere and getting beat by 50 points. You know, we may not win, but we're going to go there and we're going to give them a good fight. We're going to, when we leave there, they're going to set it. You know, they came here to play. You know, and as coaching staff, we're going to teach them best we can to go out there and give it the best that they have.
All right, that was David Otuafi from Pacific. When we come back here on this football year in review on IEMG Sports Weekly, we're going to go to the Arrowhead Athletic Conference. That's where we will find San Gorgonio and Arroyo Valley next here on the Year in Review, football style.